Let's see, where do I want to... What's going on? What is going on, everybody? Thank y'all for joining on this great Cyber Monday. It's been about a week since I talked to everybody here on TikTok. I've been hosting a lot of people in my house. So I had like 5 people at my house here for Thanksgiving. And so they all stayed for like a week, and y'all know how it is when people come to your house. They don't give me any time to do anything else. So unfortunately, because of that, I wasn't able to do these TikToks like I'm used to doing. But everybody left. I was able to get some rest. And so now we are back. We are back talking independent insurance adjusting. So I'll go for a bit today. I'm not gonna go all night like I normally do, but I will be going for a bit tonight, just to catch everybody up on what's going on with me, what products I have coming out here in the next little bit. So obviously I'm an independent adjuster, but more than that, I have to teach all these people, right? So I teach thousands of people through courses, and so I'm creating some new courses. My mentorship, yes, MG, it still is. I do have payment plans available. Okay, so you don't have to pay it all at one time. All right, so if you want to get started, shoot me a message on TikTok, or you can shoot me a DM wherever you want to shoot me a message at, wherever you got contact with me at, and we can talk about mentorship. All right, they got us what's going on. Hope everybody's doing good. So again, y'all, my apologies for not being on live. We had Thanksgiving last week. I had a lot of friends that came and stayed at my house for like a week. I had about 9 people over the last 7 days stay at my house. So yeah, I was hosting, and y'all know how it is. It gets pretty tiring. So I had to take some time. I want to give everybody just some updates on what's going on with me, what's going on with our courses, what's going on with the industry, right? So first of all, what's going on with me, I'm always happy to be here. I'm happy to always talk to you all. I have been creating new courses over the last several weeks. I've made about 5 courses. Some of those have already dropped. I got some new offers that I'm coming out with. And the main thing is I am always trying to solve problems I see a lot of people have in this industry, whether it was problems I had as an insurance adjuster or problems I see you all having, whether it's you're brand new, you're interested in the business, or you're already in the business and there's some things you don't know, right? So one of the things about insurance adjusting is it is a stackable. All the skills are stackable, right? So you don't learn everything the first year. You don't learn everything the first 2 years. It takes several years and a variety of types of insurance carriers, claims, management styles, and your own experience before you start actually being a competent adjuster, in my opinion. I appreciate the likes, y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate everybody hopping in here with me. So that's the first thing. So the next thing I would say, which is I think what's important for y'all, is the industry and what's going on with the industry. So this year, because of El Nino, we didn't get a big hurricane season. That's why things have been slow. So it's not just your resume. It's not just, you don't have enough licenses. You don't have enough certifications yet. Excuse me. It's really based on the fact that there's not a lot of damage out there. So there's not a lot of claims. Because there's not a lot of claims, there's not going to be a lot of deployments right now. That does not mean the industry is done. That just means it's a bit slower now than it is normally, okay? And also, as y'all all joining, I appreciate everybody joining. I want to talk to y'all a little bit more about, I talk about me, but I don't usually talk about me that much. So obviously I'm an independent adjuster. Obviously I teach, but I live in Brazil, okay? I've been living in Brazil for the last 5 years. And before I was living in Brazil, I was living in Canada. And this was all because of independent insurance adjusting. Now, this is not something that any and everybody can do, okay? This is not something that's easy to do. Like you just, you know, snap your fingers and bam, you living and working outside the United States. It took a long time for me to get to this level. It took a lot of sacrifices, doing a lot of networking, building out relationships so I could work and live internationally. That's not something I teach, and that's not something I plan on teaching, but I do want to give y'all some insight. I do live in Brazil. I live in Salvador, Brazil, as a matter of fact. I've been living here since 2019, since January 2019, and it's been, I left Canada. I was working for Allstate Canada, and I came down here to this country, and I spent some time down here, got fluent in Portuguese, came back to the United States for a bit. Pandemic happened. Allstate Canada called me up again and gave me another contract, and they said that I could just work wherever I felt like working at. So that was during the pandemic, and that's what got me back down here, right? And that's where I started my course. I started teaching while I was working for Allstate Canada down here in Brazil. So I started my company down here in Brazil, and I've just been teaching people all around the United States. And it's been amazing to see. Alyssa, what's going on? It's been amazing to see. I did not plan to be here this long. I'm not going to be answering too many questions about stuff about Brazil, by the way, just so you know. I'm not going into average monthly and bills and all that stuff. Just so y'all know. I'm just telling y'all what's going on, but I'm not going that deep into any of that, okay? But I do want to inform y'all, I do live in Brazil. And it's been a blast for me. And just to give you the idea of like what's possible in this industry. Now there were some things that went into me living here. There's some things that I had to sacrifice. Like I had to get out of all debt. I paid off my student loan debts because of independent insurance adjusting. I paid off my car debt because of independent insurance adjusting. Any and all debts that I had to the United States, I paid off before I started the contracts that I have, the Canadian contracts, right? The Canadian contracts that got me out of the United States, right? So it has been a whirlwind. Like sometimes I wake up sometimes, I'm like, yo, I still live here? This is crazy. Like I didn't know that independent adjusting could do this for me. When I got into the business, I was just trying to pay my bills. I was just trying to pay rent every month. I was just tired of struggling, I was tired of being hungry. I was tired of, always being late on bills and losing weight because I didn't have enough money for food and stuff like that. So, when independent adjusting came my way, I just took it by the horns. I was like, yo, this is going to create the life I want for myself. And so it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing for me, not just to see how my life has been turning out, but also to see how so many other people's lives have turned out. I don't talk enough about the testimonials that I get, but I've had students that hit me up and say, hey, Steve, I made $280,000 this year. Thank you so much. That's been a blessing for me, seeing, moms and dads and brothers and sisters and all types of people get in this business and make something of themselves, Everybody's dream is not to live in Brazil like it was for me. Everybody's dream was not to even get out of debt or anything like that. Some people just had dreams like I did, where it's just like, hey, I'm just tired of struggling. It's got to be a different way, right? And that way for me was independent adjusting. And I still believe that's the way for so many people. I think what I'm looking forward to over the next several months is as I dive deeper into short form video, long form video, lives, things like that, is just increasing the quality of my content, right? Like for those of y'all who are watching now, I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate everybody who watches me now in this way But what I'm looking forward to is increasing the quality. And so that's what y'all gonna start seeing. If any of y'all follow me on Instagram, you're starting to see that on my Instagram, where I'm diving deeper into this format right here, video content. You know, for me, for those of y'all who think like, you know, I might have just showed up to TikTok. I've been doing this on Twitter for 3 years. You know, like I'm old on Twitter with this stuff. Like everything I talk to y'all about on a daily basis or weekly basis, I talked about on Twitter 1,000 times over. You know, so now these new platforms are a challenge for me, and so as much as I have to be an independent adjuster and I have to be a teacher for y'all, I also have to be a content creator, and so it is it has been just a big surprise for me. It's been a big learning journey for me to see how I can stack skills, right? How I can stack skills to be able to serve you all better, right? Because we can't serve people well if we haven't been served well, right? So if you're going to be an insurance adjuster, you're going to be serving other people, right? You're going to be dealing with your client's needs. Your client's needs are your insurance carrier. So I have to serve you well so y'all can in turn serve other people well, your insurers, your IA management, your firm management, your co-workers, right? And so that's something that I think that has been infectious, right, over the last few years. How am I able to work outside the United States? So I covered that at the beginning of the live, Goddess. So what I did was I had a contract with Allstate Canada. And so that's what got me out of the United States to begin with. I moved to Canada. So when I started working in Canada, I didn't live in the States anymore. And I left the United States in 2018. And so I got that contract with Allstate Canada through CRU, Catastrophe Response Unit. From there, pandemic happened, and they sent me a computer, and then I started working remote for a Canadian company. So that's the long and short of how I did it. Do not expect those results as a newbie, right? I didn't get that contract until I was already 4 years into the business of independent insurance adjusting. I had already proven myself through thousands and thousands of claims and through a lot of networking before I even got that type of position. So don't expect that, all right? Do not expect the kind of results that I have and I've gotten, okay? Have other people done it? Some have, okay? Some people have done it. I do know some people personally who also live and work here in Brazil, and they are independent adjusters, but they didn't do it the way I did it. I've known adjusters who lived and worked in Australia while they handled claims in the United States. Done the same thing in the islands and Caribbean islands, the same thing for Mexico. But again, these are one-off situations. This is not something that I would expect most of y'all to be able to ever accomplish, and it's not something I'm going to teach ever. I'm never going to teach any of you all how to live and work outside the United States. I do it. I live and work outside the United States, but I have to set proper expectations for everybody, right? Like I tell you all the time, I have over 4,000 students, okay? I can't tell all those people they can live and work outside the United States. I can't even hint at that because I'll be leading them down the wrong path, right? So I'm telling y'all what I got going on so y'all can know what's going on with me, but I don't want any of y'all setting an expectation because I don't want any of y'all to be let down, right? What I want to teach y'all is how to be an independent insurance adjuster. I don't really want to teach anybody how to live and work outside the United States. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, all right? So for those of y'all who just joined it, my name is Stephen Story. I live in Brazil. I've been living in Brazil full-time for 5 years. I left the States in 2018. Independent insurance adjusting got me out of the United States. And the fun thing is, every year I've been out of the States, I've made over 6 figures, you know? And that's been the fun part, is what comes with, you know, a high income stateside, and then you live in a weaker currency outside the United States. You know, every dollar that I earn is multiplied by 5 by living here in Brazil. And so it allows me to live an amazing life here, you know? So that's something that has been amazing for me. And it's been something that took a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, and a commitment to excellence for me to get there. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with everybody. I appreciate everybody joining. We're talking about independent insurance adjusting. And we're talking about me. We're talking about myself. What's coming down the pipeline. Y'all going to see some better, y'all going to be seeing things. My videos going to be coming out a lot better here in a bit. You're going to see better graphic design on my Instagram. You're going to be seeing a lot more testimonials here on TikTok, because I have to give y'all 3 years of, what's what I'm looking for? I have 3 years of teachings that I've done on Twitter that I have to bring here to TikTok, right? And so I have to take y'all from the very beginning to now. And so I did all that with Twitter. So like sometimes I forget that I have to like teach all y'all all these things that y'all never heard of before, because my Twitter audience is already, they already know all this stuff about independent adjusting, right? I appreciate everybody joining. We're talking about independent insurance adjusting, talking about how we can make money in this 6-figure career, a business that is not tied to the economy, all right? Independent adjusting is not tied to the regular economy. We're tied to weather and accidents, right? So for those of y'all who are joining me, watching me for now, y'all, I do this fairly regularly. I'm doing lives probably 2 or 3 times a week. Sometimes I'm doing them every day. It just depends on my energy levels. It is 10:22 my time, so sometimes when I'm doing lives, like I'm tired, you know. So like right now it's already 10:20. Sometimes it's late at night. No, independent adjusting is not saturated. You know, it's funny because when I got into business in 2015, people were saying, they were thinking it was saturated back then. This business is never going to be saturated, okay? And I want to tell you why. The reason why independent adjusting will never be saturated is because people are always coming in and coming out of the business. You'll have people that they'll do it for 3 months and they quit forever. They'll do 3 months and stop for a month. When they stop for that month, somebody else has to come in to fill that spot, right? And so it's like we're playing musical chairs in this business. And also you have people do it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and they get out of business. So no, this business is not saturated at all, okay? We're constantly in need of adjusters, right? I've been doing this business a long time, y'all, since 2015. So it's December 2015 and it's November 2023 now. So we're going on 8 years. Is that 8 years now? Yeah. Is it 8 years? No, I'm sorry. 2015? Yeah, 8 years. 8 years since I've been licensed as an adjuster. And so I remember when Hurricane Harvey hit, they had to get any and everybody to get emergency licenses because we didn't have enough adjusters to handle claims back then, right? So no, this business is not oversaturated by any means. Also, I would like that when people ask me, is insurance adjusting saturated? Go out in real life and ask people, what is an independent insurance adjuster? That's my challenge to everybody watching this. If you believe that independent insurance adjusting is saturated, go out and ask people if they even know what an independent adjuster is. I guarantee you, no one knows what an independent adjuster is. And I also guarantee you that nobody anywhere near you in your real deal life, your walking life, is an adjuster. That's how few adjusters it is out here in the world. All right? You can go anywhere in your city. You can ask 100 people if they are independent adjusters in your city, and they're going to say no. All 100 of them will say no. No one knows what this business is. That's why everybody that's watching is watching now, because they're trying to learn more about it. If you Google about this, you're not going to really find too much about it, right? Because it's not saturated. I come across a lot of adjuster jobs, but they say they want 2 years of experience. Sylvia Riggins. So, first things first, your recruiters for independent adjusters have a financial incentive to get adjusters hired. Now, this is a 6-figure industry, so they have to have some level of obstacles in the way. So that obstacle, just saying that they need 2 years experience, keeps most people out. All right, but that's not necessarily the case. A lot of people get hired that are brand new. All right, why do you think it's so gatekept? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not gatekept. It's not gatekept at all. Every independent adjuster I know tells everybody they know about this business. The issue is nobody listens. Like, I started telling people about independent insurance adjusting in 2015. No one listened to me until 2020. I was already 5 years in before people really listened. I had my best friend, he listened, and a couple other people. But for the most part, it is not gatekept at all. It's just that most adjusters are working. So because they're working, they don't have time to go tell everybody else about it, right? So only a few people can actively go out and tell people about it. But no, independent adjusting is not gatekept at all. No major storms this year. I've been sitting. So Sylvia, one thing I'll remind you is that we had hailstorms this year. We had a lot of hailstorms this year. We had some big hailstorms this year, and a lot of people made a lot of money working hail this year. We didn't have a big hurricane season, but we had a huge hail season this year. You know, I had a student make $280,000 this year. I had a student that made $75,000 in 1 month working in Kentucky in July and August. Okay, no, this is quite a busy year until hurricane season came around. But the first 8 months of the year were quite busy. All right, everybody, y'all got to know y'all seasons. All right, the seasons of independent insurance adjusting is not just hurricane season. Have you ever done daily claims while waiting for a deployment? Daily claims is a deployment, y'all. Daily claims, any insurance contract you get is a deployment, everybody. I just want everybody to understand that. Anytime we're working claims, that is a deployment. Daily claims is a deployment. Have I ever done daily claims while working? Yes, I have. All right. Sadiddy, don't get discouraged. I'm new and I started this year. There we go. Now we're talking, y'all. That's how we do it. You know, we got to keep each other encouraged. Y'all, there's so much money to be made in this business. Okay? It's so much money to be made in this business. And the thing is, when times get a little slow, this is when a lot of people, they're like, I could do something else. This ain't working out. I'm going to do something else. That's what I would tell everybody that's waiting on their time. If you've been broke before, just be broke a little bit longer. If you've been broke for the last 6 years, you can be broke another 3 or 4 months. You know, you can always be broke for another 3 or 4 months because this business is going to pick up again. It always picks up. All right. And it gets busy. We can be busy for 3 or 4 years at a time. You know, how do you transition from staff to independent? Well, I personally never worked staff claims. I've always been an independent. Now, what staff adjusters are going to want to do is they're going to want to do they want to go to Sercon.com. You want to do a national producer number lookup, NPN lookup. From there, you want to go see how many licenses are connected to your name. For some carriers, for some insurance carriers, you do have all those licenses connected to your name. For other carriers, none of those licenses are connected to your name. So you need to find that out first. Next thing you got to do, you got to set your resume up. All right, clean that resume up. Polish it off, make it look good. Last but not least, you got to apply to IA firm rosters. All right, you got to start applying to rosters. If you can do that, more than likely you're going to get hired. IA firms love staff adjusters. All right, appreciate everybody that's hopping in here. My name is Steven Sawyer. We're talking about independent insurance adjusting. I've taught over 4,000 students this business over the last 3 years. I've gotten hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people hired. I've had dozens of students go on to make 6 figures in this business. My best student has made $208,000 in one 12-month period. My second best student, just as far as 1 month in income, my best student has made $75,000 in 1 month in the 30-day period. All right, I've seen students do 40K. I've seen students do 30K, 15 to 18 to 20. 15 to 20 grand is not out of the norm for some of my students that are field adjusters. Okay, so I teach field adjusters. I teach remote adjusting. I teach auto, and I teach desk property. So I have insurance adjusters that are students of mine across all niches of this business. Okay, so I'll tell you all that so you can know who to listen to. All right, I'm not just a field adjuster. I'm not just an auto adjuster. I'm not just a desk adjuster. I'm not just a remote adjuster. I've done it all. Are your students desk or field adjusters? Great question. I just answered it. My students do some of everything. Okay, I have students that handle all types of claims. I have a lot of field adjusting students. I have a lot of desk adjusters. I have a lot of auto adjusters. Okay, so and I teach on all those things. Okay, and they have all achieved success in every area of insurance adjusting that I teach. So let me get some water real quick. I'm thirsty. I'm really thirsty. I always get thirsty when I'm talking to y'all, and I never get properly hydrated before I get in here. But yeah, so appreciate everybody hopping in here. Appreciate everybody that's joining. Y'all ask away. I'm just talking about, have I ever done property? Yes, I've done property for several years. Done field property, I've done remote property, I've done desk property. Done property in Canada, done property all over the United States. Wow, I was thirsty. I was pretty thirsty. Yeah, do y'all be hearing me when I say like I literally just said I've done property, and then y'all ask me, have I done property? And then you ask me like, do I have students that do desk or field adjusting? I'm like, I just said that. Maybe y'all just typing fast, I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate everybody hopping on here. I appreciate everybody liking the live. Thank y'all for sharing the live. Appreciate everybody hopping in and just asking questions for that matter. But okay, so what I was saying to everybody is I'm new to TikTok, but I am old on Twitter, and I am old to teaching this stuff. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. I'll be having jokes too, by the way. I'll be joking there every once in a while, so don't take it personally. But for those of y'all who just joined, my name is Steven. I live in Brazil. Insurance adjusting took me out of the United States. Okay. Took me out of the United States. I've been out of the United States since 2018. I don't know if y'all know that. I'm currently in Brazil. I live and work here in Brazil. You don't got to create a Twitter. I'm here on TikTok, so you can learn from me from TikTok. I want to put more attention here. So, but yeah. So, yeah, y'all. Independent adjusting. I got an email. I didn't even get a call. I got an email on a Friday afternoon. It was like 6 p.m. I was living in Atlanta. I was living in Buckhead, Atlanta at the time, and I got an email from Catastrophe Response Unit for Allstate Canada. They said, "Hey, can you be in Canada in 36 hours?" And I said, "Yes, I can be in Canada in 36 hours." And so I bought my flight. I didn't know that everything else would happen like that. I did not know that, I'll move and live in Canada and I'll have a Canadian work visa. I did not know that after that I would come to Brazil and live and work here. I do not do Brazilian claims. Brazil does not have a huge insurance market. Everywhere, y'all be surprised. Everywhere doesn't have insurance like the United States. Like 1% of the Brazilian population is insured. Most people are not insured. We have a lot of laws around insurance. That's what makes insurance so lucrative because everybody who owns a home must have insurance. Anybody who owns a car must have insurance. It's by the law. What is the process like when being mentored by you, Sylvia Riggins? So right now, I'm just doing a question and answer. But for my mentorship, when we do live calls, I'm actively teaching. So we do a call every Wednesday, and we're going to get on that call. I'm going to teach for an hour to an hour and a half. From there, I'll answer questions. I usually do calls based on skills, right? So like file notes, and we do a lot of role play. We go deep into policy. We go deep into how to negotiate. We go deep into building materials, and we go deep into like how we get hired and things like that. It's a 12-week process. Everybody also has my private phone number, right? So I do a lot of one-on-one calls with my mentees, especially when they're working. So I get a lot of calls like, "Hey, Steven, how do I do this claim? How do I work through this? What do you think about this?" right? And then they also have access to all of my courses. So I have about, at this point, I have about 10 courses that I've made. So most people only see like 2 or 3 of my courses because they're beginners and that's all that they're ready for. But for my mentees, we go much deeper into my coursework. And then also I'm really focused on getting my mentees hired. So getting them hired and building out a career strategy for them that's tailored to them, whether they want to be on the field side, auto side, property side, desk side, remote, those things. I'm actively working with them day by day to help them build out their career strategy and make sure they maximize their income. My neck of the woods in ATL, oh yeah, Atlanta was a good time for me. I enjoyed Atlanta, in my time there. So what do you do in Brazil? I live and I work here. That's what I do, right? So I'm full-time in this industry. I'm on the education side now, right? So I have thousands of people that I'm responsible for. And so those people are always contacting me. I'm always having to teach. I'm always writing emails. I have a daily email list where I'm writing things about independent adjusting. I'm making content all the time, and I'm working through claims, right? So I have to be on point for anybody who calls me about any claim they have, right? So that's what I do in Brazil as far as my work. In my day-to-day life, y'all can't see it, but I'm looking at the ocean right now. I live on a cliff. I live on a cliff in the Bay of All Saints, so I get to see the ocean a lot. So I also hang out a lot at the ocean. So I'm usually swimming. I went down to the ocean today and I watched the sunset from the ocean today. I do a lot of martial arts. I do a lot of capoeira. I like to dance a lot of samba. Do a lot of samba down here in Brazil. I do a lot of forró. Forró is like a partner dance, right? So I do a lot of that. I really dive deep into my hobbies. I love being active. I love lifting weights. I love swimming a lot. I walk a lot. Walking isn't the sexiest thing, but I like to walk. I usually walk all the way from my house to the lighthouse, and I walk from the lighthouse to like another part of town, and then I get an Uber back. So I usually walk like an hour a day. And I've been living here for 5 years, so I'm always like, I go to different islands. There's a lot of, like the bay I live in, like I can see these islands from my house, but y'all can't see it. Y'all hear no loud talking to me. But I go to islands. I went to the waterfall last week. I was at a waterfall last Monday, a beautiful waterfall. If anybody follows me on Instagram, you can see that waterfall on Instagram. But yeah, I'm always going to different islands. I'm always going to different stuff in nature. But yeah, I enjoy myself out here in Brazil. So it's been a fun experience for me. Like I said, y'all, I did this because of independent insurance adjusting. Independent adjusting got me all of this. Okay, independent adjusting got me out of the United States, and it has been an amazing ride since then. Every student I have taught from Brazil. It has been a rarity for me to meet students because I'm down here, they're up there. But whenever I go back home, I usually bump into students, or I'll call a few of them, like depending on which city I'm in. Like if I'm in Nashville, I'll bump into students in Nashville. I usually let people know when I'm in the city. I have students I've kicked it with in New York, Atlanta, Nashville, Texas, whenever I'm in town. Where did you train in the United States? So I didn't get trained in the way that y'all did y'all's training, right? So back in 2015, 2016, when I got into business, all that training and stuff, we just I got a State Farm certification and I got to work. I worked all over the United States. I've done over 20 deployments, y'all. So because I've done over 20 deployments, I got to see a lot of different styles of claim handling. I got to see a lot of different carriers. I got to handle a lot of different types of claims. And so I got well-rounded through those 20-some deployments, So I didn't get trained at one place, I did my rope and harness certification in Atlanta. I did some other stuff in Alabama, but I worked all through the Southwest, Southeast, the East Coast, and I said Midwest too, the Midwest. So, and in Canada, right? So that's where I got trained at. How many licenses do you hold? I usually keep anywhere from 5 to 8. I usually max out around 13, just depending on the carrier's needs. I don't like having a ton of licenses because it gets expensive. Okay, it gets expensive around your birthday when you got to renew 6, 7 licenses at a time. So right now I have 8 licenses, but I'll go up to 13. I haven't had more than 13 at any one time. I talked to a guy on here one day. I think he said he had like 30. It just depends. It depends on your carrier. It depends. Like, for example, a lot of State Farm people who are working on the auto side of things, they have a lot of licenses. But every carrier doesn't have coverage in all these states, so I don't recommend having a lot of licenses. Just get 5. As a 1099 employee, do you recommend getting an LLC as an adjuster? This is such a repetitive question. I get it all the time. And what I would recommend to everybody, make the money first. Okay? Make the money first. Go get good at being an adjuster first before you start worrying about this whole LLC thing, right? Because here's the thing, you're not always a 1099 employee. Okay? You're not always a 1099 employee. And then also, get the money, all right? Get the money first, then you can start worrying about LLCs. Go make a couple $100,000 in the business, okay? Go make a couple $100,000, and then you'll see if you need to be an LLC, get an LLC or not, okay? But I'm not gonna recommend that. I would recommend get good at being an adjuster. 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 And then we can start focusing on the small details. We don't even know if you know how to write a file note properly. You talking about LLCs, like, I think that's something like kind of putting the cart before the horse. And it's a question that has been coming up for years. Those were questions I heard when I first got into business in 2015. People were like, hey, should I get an LLC, so on and so forth. And it's like, well, look, I never got an LLC. I just had a good accountant. I got a good accountant. Everything was fine. They made my deductions for me. Okay, but I would like to remind you, you're not going to always be a 1099 employee. Sometimes you'll be W-2, W-4. Now what? Right? So, but long story short, if you want to get LLC, get you one. But focus on getting good in the business. Focus on getting good at handling claims. If you can do that at scale, more than likely, you're going to be a good adjuster, and you're going to make a lot of money, and you'll need to get an LLC or whatever to get your tax write-offs. Anybody got questions, comments, or concerns? Talking about independent insurance adjusting. Talking about my life here in Brazil. My life outside of the United States. Y'all, I'm an expat, okay? I left the United States in May 2018. Yeah, May 2018 was when I left. And I've probably spent, since 2018, I probably spent 24 months, not all at the same time, but I probably spent 24 months in the last 6 years back in the States, so I'm usually out of the States now. So that's, yo, what's up? What's going on? Real estate, Francios. Hope you're doing good. Talking to Justin, talking to insurance Justin. We talked a bit about what's going on in the industry of adjusting earlier. We talked a bit about what's going on in my life, who I am, what I got going on, what I like to do. All right, I'm a super active guy. For those of y'all who don't know me, I have a ton of hobbies that I'm committed to. I'm always doing something active. Do I have dual citizenship? No, I don't, but I do have permanent residency. I got permanent residency here in Brazil. Yeah, I got permanent residency. That took some time to get. It wasn't easy. Was not easy at all, but now I got my Georgia license and I got my Brazilian. There we go. Check your boy out. Boom. There we go. One for Brazil, one for the United States. Yeah, I'm a permanent resident of Brazil. Now, I am not a dual citizen. I will not be getting dual citizenship in any other country. I'm loyal to the United States of America. I'm still an American, and we get taxed. Americans get taxed in the United States, first and foremost. So I'm not going to get citizenship somewhere else so I can give them money too. All right, so I live here. I'm a permanent resident here, but I make all my money in the United States. Okay. Wasn't easy. Had to deal with lawyers and had to go to the consulate a whole bunch of times and all that stuff. Have you heard of carriers possibly going straight component? All right, whenever you hear that word straight component, normally that means you're talking about State Farm. And I just want you to know that State Farm lingo, nobody else uses component. The words component is only used at State Farm. Okay? So that's a State Farm issue. How long did it take you to make your first $100,000? I made my first $100,000 my first 12 months in the business. My first 12 months in the business of insurance adjusting, I made $105,000. I made $70,000 in my first 7 months in the business after I got my first deployment. All right, I made $70,000. And then from there, it probably took probably full 12 months, I think, to make my first 105 grand, my first 100 grand. But I've made over $100,000 every single year since I've gotten my insurance license, my adjuster license. Just want y'all to know that. And the thing is, I'm not the only one who's done it. I know several other people who've done it as well. I've taught several other people who've done it as well. You know, I have my mother has done it as well. She's in the business. She got in. She's the reason I got in because of my mom. So the money's there. Okay, the money's there if you commit to excellence. You don't make the money just because you become an insurance adjuster. You make the money because you commit to being good at the business. You commit to being good at what it is we do for a living. If you can do that, you can make some great money. You know, questions, comments, concerns. How many months out of the year do you typically work? 8 to 9 months. 8 to 9 months is how much I usually work each year. I try not to work more than that because this is hard. It is a hard business. It's stressful. And when you work, you know? And so I enjoy my health and my strength and my mental solitude and everything. So I work usually 8 to 9 months. Usually once I hit a certain dollar amount, I'm out. I don't care how the deployment's going. You know, I don't care if it's super chill. I don't care if it's like super intense. I usually leave when I hit a certain dollar amount, or when I feel like it. You know, I've been doing this business long enough. Like when I start getting burnt out, when I start getting a little too snappy with insureds, when I get a little too snappy with my firm management, or even my coworkers sometimes, or even in my personal life. If I don't like how my personal life going too much, and I know I got the money that I need for the year, cut it out. What about public adjusting? Public adjusting is completely different than independent adjusting. I have nothing to say about public adjusting at all. It is not independent adjusting. What state do you live in? I live in Bahia, Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. That's where I live at. I think ray of sunlight, you may have missed it, but we were talking about how independent adjusting took me out of the United States. In 2018, I have not lived in the United States exclusively since 2018 when I got that deployment and moved to Canada. So I was living in Calgary, Canada, in Alberta, and then after that, I moved to Brazil, and that's been it since. I've been out here ever since. That's why your boy always got a tan. That's why I always got a tan. That's why I always seem chill, because I'm like I live on the ocean. I'm looking at the ocean right now. I got ocean views from both sides of my apartment. So it's been a blessing. Insurance adjusting did it for me. Now let's see, questions, guys. I'm really just talking, y'all. I'm really just chilling with y'all today, hanging out with y'all, seeing how y'all doing. I hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. I usually host Thanksgiving here at my house, but this year we decided to do something different. So me and a bunch of friends, we rented a boat and we went to an island We spent Thanksgiving Day on an island. We had some amazing times. We really had a ball on the island, and we rode back, watched the sunset, Thanksgiving evening sunset. Then we all came back here to my house, and then, I had to fry some chicken up. I'm from the South, I'm from Alabama, so I fried some chicken up for the crew, and we had a good Thanksgiving dinner here. So we had Thanksgiving lunch on the island, and we had Thanksgiving dinner here at my house. For those of y'all just not joining, we're talking about independent insurance adjusting. I'm trying to give y'all a little bit more insight into who I am and the things that I do. I'm not just an adjuster, all right? So if your state does not require a license, you're going to do a designated home state, all right? So it's going to be Florida, Texas, or Indiana. So if Virginia does not require that license, go for it. Go for Florida. It's a good a choice as any. Whew. Here we go. We got 3 licenses to choose from, right? Questions, comments, concerns. Guys, I hope these lives are helping y'all, right? I hope these lives are helping you all out. I want to be sure that y'all get all the help y'all need to succeed, right? I want all y'all to ball. How difficult is the Georgia certification? Okay, so it's not a certification, it's a license. It is a license. The Georgia license, all you gotta do is study, okay? Don't rush yourself, study. You want to be making at least 80 to 90% on each quiz that you take. If you can do that, more than likely, you're gonna pass the test. TLC, what's going on? You've been adjusting since 2018. Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. 2018, we made some good money in 2018. So you know about 2019. You remember how slow it was in 2019 when we didn't have a hurricane season. And you remember what happened in 2020. It got super busy. 2020 was I remember 2020, it was just like deployments falling out of the sky. It was so busy, and that's something I expect to happen in 2024 for all you new people. It might be slow now, but that's okay. The business goes in cycles, TLC, you remember how it was? 2019, it was ugly. It was UGLY, all right? It was super ugly in 2019. And it washed a lot of people out of business who did not believe. They didn't believe that the business would get better. And 2020 came, and it was just like a money printer turned on. Remote deployments came available. It changed the whole industry. And 2020, that happened. And then people just made a ton of money, right? So it's still possible now. All these things are possible now if you just hold on. Hold on, keep the faith. Just don't cry. You can cry, but don't cry to quit. You gotta keep pushing, right? So, that's I know I get a lot of people in the business. They ain't hiring right now. It's okay. You know how long law students have to wait before they make $100,000 in a year? You know how long doctors have to wait before they make $100,000 in a year? Engineers, who else? These big time salesmen, these solar tech sales guys, tech people and all that. You know how long these people have to wait till they make $100,000 in a year? And some of y'all watching this are gonna do this in the next 12 months. Lawyers have to wait several years before they make that kind of money. Doctors have to wait a decade, do a decade of study, sometimes 12 years of study, before they have a shot at making $100,000 a year. And you get to do it by taking a course, doing some pre-licensing stuff, waiting around, you make a few phone calls, wait a little bit longer, 3-4 months from now, you're making $100,000 in a year. Come on. Y'all are spoiled. Y'all are spoiled, okay? You never made $100,000 in a year and you start rushing the process. I want you to zoom out for a bit and look at how long most people have to wait, okay? Think about the bank director, all right? The manager at Walmart. These are hard jobs now. The store manager at Target, you're gonna make more money than the store manager at Target, okay? The store manager at a nice sized grocery store, at AutoZone, or there's many jobs like that. They have a lot of responsibility, and they have to work their way up. I'm talking about really grind out to get to $100,000 a year, $105,000, $110,000 a year. And some of y'all are going to make that with ease in the next 12 months. So I challenge everybody to be patient. Be patient, okay? Because it ain't a lot of jobs that you can make this kind of money in. And if you're listening to this, that means you have an interest in it. If you have an interest in it and a desire for it, hopefully you're qualified to do it. And you can come out here and make a whole bunch of money. Okay? So that's my challenge to all y'all. Be patient. Be patient, be patient, be patient. Okay? I was struggling. It was ugly for me. It was super ugly for your boy for some months. You know, it took 9 months before I got my first deployment. But look what it gave me. You know, look at all they gave me. You know, I'm not gonna show you around my house, but y'all can just see all that. You know, so y'all can see like what's going on. That's all throughout my whole house. You know, marble floors, marble in my bathrooms, all my showers, all my bathrooms are marble. You know, and so you can be a little patient. Okay, you can be a little patient. Give yourself a little more time, because I was living in Atlanta, Georgia, broke as a joke, and just waiting my time, and then it happened, and then everything changed. Everything changed. I committed to the business. I committed to excellence. I committed to the work. You know, I made my sacrifices, and it all paid off. You know, and I'm not showing y'all any of these things to impress you all. I'm just showing you all just to impress upon you what can happen if you stay down. Stay down till you come up. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all, we're talking about independent insurance adjusting. Appreciate everybody hopping in here. Thank all y'all for joining. Thank all y'all for following me. All those that are following. We're talking about independent insurance adjusting. Also talking a little bit about my life. Talking a little bit about my life. Sylvia, what's going on? Bless this girl. What is going on? Jonathan, what's going on? Whatever questions y'all got about independent insurance adjusting, feel free to talk about it. Feel free to ask about it. This is an amazing business. Do not get discouraged, y'all. It's hard, but it's fair. Okay? That's the best way I can explain this business. It's hard, but it's fair. Okay? This business can take care of you. It can take care of your family. It can give you some opportunities that you never even thought possible. You know, I've been saying this over and over again, guys. Independent insurance adjusting moved me out of the United States. I left the United States in May 2018. I've been living outside the United States ever since then. I live in Brazil now. I earn all my money through insurance adjusting still. And it's been a blessing, okay? It has allowed me to live a life I never thought I'd be able to live of just, you know, freedom. How much can you make? So I would say a good starting point on the low end for new people is anywhere from $22 to $36 an hour at 50 to 60 hours a week as independent adjusters. All right. Also, I would say that at your first year, if you can work 8 to 9 months as an independent adjuster, you should make around $100,000 your first year. If you can work more than 12 months, if you can work up to 12 months, you know, you should make more than $100,000 a year. I've seen students do 105, 110, 120, 140. I've seen my best right now is a little over $280,000 in 12 months. One of my students just did that in their first year. Do you have to climb up houses? I'm not fit. Lee, you don't have to climb up houses. We have auto adjusting. We have remote property. We have remote auto. We got all these different remote positions. We got all these different desk positions. You don't have to climb a roof, okay, if you don't want to. We have a lot of different insurance type. We have a lot of different types of insurance claims you can handle. All right. Anything that you see that you're looking at right now, including yourself, is insurable, and it can be insured. Okay, and insurance adjusters, specifically IAs, can handle those claims. All right, so I'm a retired vet. I'm looking for a second career. What's the pros and cons of field or desk? All right, so I'm gonna do a quick rundown. All right, because I got a bunch of questions here. So first things first, pros and cons of field. Cons of field, you're getting on roofs. Okay, so if you got height, if you're scared of heights, you don't like driving around a lot, you feel like you need to socialize with people, that might be a con for you. You are exposed to the weather. So if you don't like when it's cold, if you don't like when it's hot, that could be another problem for you, right? Another pro for that is you're getting on roofs. You're out in the weather. You're by yourself. So that could be a pro or a con on the field side. Pro on the field side, they make more money. Pro on the field side. People who go out in the field, specifically field property, make a lot of money. My students that make the most money are all field adjusters. You know, the ones making $18,000 a month, 20 grand a month, 30, 40, 50, 60, $75,000 a month, they're field adjusters. Pros and cons for desk adjusters, 60, 70, 80 hours a week is a possibility. 60 hours is the norm. It is the grind of office work. Okay, so it can get intense at times. There's a lot of deadlines there. You're on the phone a lot, typing a lot. So that could be a pro or a con, just depending on your skill levels, right? Desk adjusters make pretty good money too. I made 6 figures working as a desk adjuster. That's a quick overview, okay? This seems like a profession that someone needs to be really passionate about, like nursing. No, you don't have to love independent adjusting. They pay you well enough not to love it, okay? I just want to get that out of everybody's mind real quick. You don't have to love being an adjuster. The lifestyle that this business provides for us is amazing. I love the lifestyle. I like being competent at what I do, but you don't have to be passionate about this business at all. It's not something I ever teach that you have to do, or you don't have to be passionate about the business. You got to be competent at it. You got to be good at it, but you don't have to be passionate. What school did you go to? I went to the University of Alabama. But guess what? You don't have to be college educated. You don't got to be college educated to be an independent adjuster. I want to move to Houston, Dallas. Is that a prospering location in IA? Well, here's the thing. Independent adjusting is nationwide. So you don't have to be in Houston or Dallas or Atlanta or Florida to be in a location where it's prosperous at. I've had students, I had a mentee of mine, as a matter of fact, he lived in Anchorage, Alaska. He was doing damn good for himself, working in Anchorage, Alaska to pop, right? What training certification do you recommend? The beauty advisor. All right, so I'm going to assume you know that you need to have a state license, the beauty advisor. So what I would say is, first things first, you need to get a State Farm certification. State Farm hires a lot of people. So I would say get a State Farm auto certification, and I'll get a State Farm fire estimatics certification. Those would be my 2 to start with. If you got some time, I'll get an Exactament level 1 or 2 certification. But if money is an issue, I wouldn't get an Exactament certification to start out with. Okay, but if I were any of you all, I would make sure that I got a State Farm cert, an auto and a fire certification. Wait, slow down, I'm typing. My bad. Hey, yo, I talk about this stuff a lot, okay? So if you don't hear it once, you'll hear me talk about it again. Y'all all ask like the same questions, so don't worry, I'll bring it back. State Farm auto, State Farm fire estimatics. Those are the 2 certifications you better have, okay? You must have those certs, okay? Get your 5 state licenses, get those 2 certifications. It's going to give you a great shot at getting hired, okay? I appreciate everybody hopping on here. Again, we talk about independent insurance adjusting. My name is Stephen Story. I've taught over 4,000 people this business. It is a 6-figure industry. You can make great money. You can change your financial life learning this industry. If you don't have time to be on this live with me right now, y'all, I got a lot of videos on TikTok that you can use as a resource. I got a lot of videos on YouTube you can use as a resource. I got a lot of videos on Instagram and Twitter you can use as a resource. I have a daily email list with over 6,000 people on it where I'm emailing you about independent adjusting all the time, okay? Almost every day I'm emailing about independent adjusting, okay? So there's a lot there. I'm currently using Adjuster Pro. Yeah, Adjuster Pro is a great program. Here's the thing, hurry up, get your license. Get done with the program. What's the success rate of people that stick to it? You're gonna be a little bit more specific. Are you talking about adjusting? And what do you define as success? I'm sure it is. I'm not independent, but I make money doing workers' comp. Workers' comp. You need to come over here and do workers' comp for the independent side. I've seen some independent adjusters go workers' comp and they make a lot of money. You know, shout out to my staff adjusters. Staff adjusters have helped me out a lot over the years. I couldn't bring myself to go staff. The money just wasn't good enough to be staff, but independent has been good to me. It's been good to my family. It's been good to a lot of people I know. You know, my best friend, he's staff. He used to be an IA, but he wasn't staff. Do you work for a company or you have your own company? When I handle claims, when you're handling claims, right, you're handling claims for an IA firm. Okay, that IA firm contracts you as a third-party vendor to work for an to work for an insurance carrier, right? So you're a third-party vendor for a carrier. When you're working as an adjuster, you're gonna be working for somebody else. You won't have your own company unless you choose to do the whole LLC thing, and that's a conversation for another day. Somebody else already hopped in here talking about the LLC. Pros and cons of living in Brazil. Yes, I am fluent in Portuguese. I'm not gonna be talking too much about the pros and cons of living in Brazil, in the United States. There's a whole other conversation. Is it 1099? Is it 1099? Not always. Sometimes it's 1099, sometimes it's W-2, sometimes it's W-4. How much do vehicle adjusters make? All right, so first of all, it's called auto adjusters. Okay, and I made my first $100,000 working as an auto adjuster. So auto adjusters make pretty good money. Last time, hold on, let me see what they're saying. Yeah, last time makes a lot of money. I'm in Connecticut, so we started at high pay rates, thankfully. Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you. Yeah, workers' comp for the win. Auto adjusters make good money. I know auto adjusters that make six figures. There's not as many auto deployments right now as there have been in times past, but that doesn't mean they won't come back. Okay, so auto deployments, because auto deployments also encompass bodily injury. So bodily injury deployments also make some pretty good money as well. So you're not going to lose getting in this business. You're not going to lose getting in and handling these claims and getting out here and making some money for yourself. All right. What questions, comments, concerns y'all got? Fun fact for everybody who doesn't know, in Brazil, I'm 2 hours ahead of all y'all. So it's 11:09 my time. So I'm already pretty sleepy talking to all y'all. But there's a whole bunch of y'all hopping in here, so I'm gonna keep talking. Are there many deployments during the winter months? Yeah. The deployments don't usually stop. You know, just because it's wintertime doesn't mean that claims don't stop happening. You know, there's always claims happening right now. Y'all, like I said, right now we are in, hurricane season didn't really do what most people wanted to do. Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate it. And I thank all y'all for joining me. If y'all watching this, y'all like what I'm doing, share this, like it, so I can know what y'all feeling me. Because I'm talking to my cell phone, just so y'all know. Just so everybody knows, I am talking to a cell phone alone in my house. So without y'all interacting with me, it can get kind of stale for me. Okay, so press that like button, share, ask questions. It helps out a lot. It keeps me going. If not, I'm going to get bored and I'm going to want to go to sleep. Okay. So we didn't have a huge hurricane season this year. And so because of that, y'all not seeing as many deployments as you usually would see. But winter is a busy time for the business. Okay. It is a busy time for the business. I thank all y'all for joining. We're talking about independent insurance adjuster. My name is Stephen Story. I taught over 4,000 people this business. I had hundreds of people go in and make a bunch of money doing this. I've had dozens go on to make six figures. My best student has made $280,000 in a 12-month period. And my second best student, as far as monthly income, did $75,000 in a month. Okay, so you can do it. They did it. I forgot something. Can you detail a day of a field adjuster? Raina, Nola, y'all, I'm tired, okay? I'm tired. Y'all got me going in depth about these things. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because you asked nicely, okay? I'm gonna do it real quick. Let me just get my charger. And I hope y'all taking some kind of notes or something. I hope I ain't just talking and y'all ain't listening. Let me show y'all this real quick. Just so y'all can see this, I want to show y'all the view from my office. This is the view from my place. So that is an island right there. Oops, that's one island. And there's another island right there. But yeah, this is my house. Anyway, that's the view from my place, my bad. All right, so let's charge this phone up. Y'all done seen a nice little view for a second. I'm in my office. Yeah, in the daytime, this is crazy. Like, y'all should see, like, it's just dark right now, so all y'all saw like a little black ocean. But in the daytime, it's all like blue and the sky is blue and everything is crazy. And then like in August, the whales come out here. So I see whales. I see the whales out here in the bay. It's crazy. But anyway, so the day-to-day of a field adjuster. Raina asked, Raina, I hope you're paying attention. Hope you write this down, Raina. All right. I'm going to say this, and this is probably my last thing because it's going to be kind of in-depth. So for field adjusters, what they got to do is they got to schedule. They have to schedule inspections. They have to write estimates, and they have to inspect, right? So those are the main three things they have to do, okay? They will talk to a desk adjuster at some point during the day. Sometimes they have to talk to management, and they have to kind of schedule their routes out. So usually what you're going to see adjusters doing in the field, they're going to be calling insureds. Hey, my name is, is your property located at 123 Main Street? Hey, I'll be coming in to inspect at this time. Are you available at that time? Yes? Okay, great. And they're going to make a schedule that they're going to follow every day. So they might have 1, 2, 3, 4 inspections. They go in, they call the insured before they get there. Hey, Mr. Insured, this is Steven. I'm here to inspect your roof. I'm here to inspect your fence or whatever the damage is. They'll go in. They're going to take photos of all the damage that they find. Okay? And then they're going to also sketch. They're going to do a sketch on graph paper. Then from there, they're going to go home and begin writing estimates. Okay? It is imperative as a field adjuster that you don't overscope. Overscoping is when we go in and inspect, 5 or 10 houses, but we have not done all of our estimates. So you inspect a house, you want to have that estimate in on that house within 24 hours. If you can't do this, this will get you fired. This will get you released and get your claims taken. Okay, so you're going to go home, get on your computer, you're going to write those estimates up. Okay, so depending on your skill levels, you might be able to write an estimate in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. If you're brand new and you never did anything with Xactimate, it might take you all night long. So it just depends. It depends on how prepared you are for this business, right? So that's a long and short of what a field adjuster does. I left out some things for you. But main thing is schedule your claims. Don't overscope and get those estimates turned in within 24 hours. All right. Now, the thing about field adjusting is you have to schedule in paper days. Paper days is when we go in and we don't inspect anything. It's not a rest day. We're going to be at our Airbnb or our hotel, or we're going to be at our house. And we're going to be doing all the paperwork that we need to do as field adjusters. Okay? That is the day-to-day of a field adjuster. All right? Even though you are on your own and you're free, you still have to schedule everything out so you can perform at a high level. Field adjusters that make the most money are all high performers. They're organized, okay? They're organized and they know what they're doing. Every good adjuster I know is a highly organized individual. I'm going to show y'all something just so y'all can see my workstation, okay? I just want to show y'all that I'm organized myself, okay? So here we are at my workstation. I got my pen, always got something to write with. Always got everything right there. Paperwork right here, water bottle, just some books, right? I don't keep a lot of junk on my desk, and you shouldn't either if you plan on being a successful adjuster, because this is such a cerebral job. All right, we think so much, and if you're a person that's messy and has got a lot of clutter and all that stuff, you're gonna make mistakes. Just simple as that. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and you can't afford that. Okay, and you can't afford to make mistakes like that. Okay, what type of laptop would you recommend? I have a MacBook. All right, so I recommend different computers based on what you're doing. If you're going to be a field adjuster, you cannot run Xactimate on a MacBook successfully, okay? I have a MacBook. I run Xactimate on a MacBook, but that ain't what you want to do in the field. Get you a PC, okay? If you're going to be in the field. Guys, we're talking about field adjusting, but independent adjusting is not only field adjusting, okay? 1 second, y'all. I got all these people texting me. All right, so my bad, y'all. I do have a life, okay? I got people that be hitting me up. All right, here we are. Let's go back to the questions. Tell us about how many times you wanted to quit if there is one. Y'all, I make so much money being an independent adjuster. I never wanted to quit. Okay, how could I want to quit when I get paid $2,000 and $3,000 every Thursday? What job would you want to quit? You making $3,000 a week? Explain it to me. $4,000 a week. You're not $4,500 a week, $5,000 a week. How many times do you want to quit a job like that? Okay. Now, when I'm ready to stop, I just self-release. Okay. Quitting and self-releasing are two different things. When I get tired, I just self-release. You know, when I hit the dollar amount I want to make, I self-release. Okay. How many houses are you expected to inspect per day? Well, here's the thing. You can't inspect more than you can. You should not be inspecting more than you can write each day. So if you can only write one house, if you can only complete one estimate in 24 hours, you only need to be inspecting one house in 24 hours. Okay? Xactimate is a skill that you're going to get better at. All right? I know adjusters that are skilled and experienced adjusters, they can do 6 in a day. They can inspect 6 houses in a day and get 6 estimates out in a day. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be worried about numbers just yet. You got to focus on getting good at Xactimate. Bro, is State Farm going to hire ECRs again? I don't know. When I finished at State Farm, I was at ECR. Okay? State Farm hires based on their needs. My advice to you is stop working only at State Farm. Why you worry? There are 5,200 insurance carriers in the United States, including State Farm. I have not worked for State Farm in 6 years. And I made a whole lot of money working outside of State Farm. So don't hitch all your stuff to State Farm, okay? I'm working to get into this industry. Would you recommend staff or experience to take IA route? Look, this is an independent adjusting Stan account. All I talk about is independent adjusting. I never talk about staff adjusting ever. I'm never going to tell anybody to make less money. You're going to get experience as an IA. You're going to get experience as a staff adjuster. You might as well make more money. You're doing the same job anyway. Make more money. Okay? What about desk adjuster? What about it? What would you like to know about desk adjusting? There's a lot of different things that go into desk adjusting. So you gotta be a little more specific on the questions, y'all. Okay? Let's get a little more specific, and I can give y'all some better answers. Right? Y'all, I appreciate all y'all hopping in here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with your boy. Thank y'all for hanging out with your boy. I'm gonna get out of my desk. I don't like my office. I don't like the light in here. I'm gonna go back to the living room. You know, I'm gonna stand up for a bit. It's hard. You know what it's hard doing? It's hard to sit down and talk. It's super hard. Let's get y'all in here. Yeah, that's it right there. Have you ever had a special deployment? What do you mean? What do you mean by special? Y'all gotta be specific, okay? What do you mean by special deployment, okay? What training prepares you best to prepare you for deployments? Me, okay? I'm gonna be real with y'all. Look, you're not gonna get trained by anybody. I'm gonna be so real with you right now. That is the only reason why I teach as much as I teach, is because I know that we don't get trained. Independent adjusters do not get trained by anybody, okay? We don't get trained by anybody. We get on a deployment and we're just expected to perform, all right? So I have created a lot of different courses to help people get prepared for their deployments, like essential claim handling, like file note bootcamp, like understanding insurance policy, like the anatomy of an insurance carrier, you know, like how to think like a high-performing independent adjuster, like how to get hired during the slow season. I can keep going, okay? I can keep going, y'all. I have a whole bunch of courses I have made, and I made those courses for you all, for independent adjusters, so they can be ready for a deployment, okay? Tyrone in Tuscaloosa, I appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, just so y'all know, I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Clev Cleverson, I want you to know, like HRU, y'all, when y'all State Farm people only talk about State Farm deployments and y'all use this State Farm lingo and stuff like that, like, y'all, there's so many other carriers. There's so many types of deployments, all right? You're in this whole little State Farm bubble and you think that's all it is to it, and it's not, okay? Any study tips on passing the license exam? APDS, yes. So what you're gonna do is, if you're studying Adjuster Pro, take your quizzes over and over again until you're making at least an 80 to 90% on each quiz. Once you can do that repeatedly, you're ready to take the exam. Before then, you're not ready to take it. Which additional states should one get once licensed? I'm in Texas. So 5 states you should get. You're in Texas, so you need to get Florida, Florida, the Carolinas, Georgia, Louisiana. All right. Thank y'all for, if y'all like what I'm saying, just click like, just double tap on the screen, okay? Like I told y'all earlier, I'm talking to my cell phone at the house. So like, if y'all ain't interacting with me, if y'all not liking stuff and I don't see the heart signs, I just feel like y'all just staring at the screen like I'm staring at y'all. You feel me? So y'all gotta help me out. These things keep me pumped up. It's 11:24 my time. I'm already tired, okay? I'm pretty sleepy today. So I'm really just hanging out with y'all, and I'm gonna keep going as long as y'all keep asking questions, and y'all keep kind of sharing the live and all that stuff. I appreciate it. I appreciate all y'all. If y'all like what I'm talking about, follow me. All I do is talk about insurance adjusting. I don't talk about nothing else. I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about trends. I'm not talking about relationships. I don't talk about anything. On TikTok, all I talk about is independent insurance adjusting, and how you that's watching this, how you can go from just watching to participate in this business, and you can start having a nice life. Were you handling U.S. claims in Canada? No, I was handling Canadian claims in Canada. Why do you become an adjuster for a company? What's the benefit of being independent? Money. The benefit of being independent is the money. So you climb on roofs during a deployment. All right, so again, I want to specify, y'all, there are several types of independent insurance adjusting. All right, one type is field, okay? Field property. That's where people get on roofs to go inspect houses. But we also got field auto, where you go out and you inspect auto. You inspect cars and stuff like that. We also got desk property, where you just sit in an office. We got remote property, where you just sit in the house and you review property claims. We also have desk auto, field remote auto, bodily injury, litigation, PA claims, workman's comp, warranty claims, the list goes on. Hail, fire, vandalism, theft. We can keep going. It ain't all independent adjusting is not all getting on roofs and taking pictures and stuff like that. Okay? Just so everybody understands that. I want to make sure y'all all get it. Right? Once y'all get that, we can go a lot further. But just get it out of your head. If you don't want to get on roofs, you don't have to get on roofs. How much difference is the money? All right, so the difference between IA and staff. So I would say first year staffers are going to make anywhere from $40,000 to $55,000 a year on the good side. I would say if you are a good desk adjuster, you're going to be making anywhere from $90,000 to $110,000, $115,000 in your first year. Okay, so that gives you a good understanding of what we're looking at money wise. Do all the desk jobs require 60 hours? Yeah. You want to make 6 figures a year, it's 60 hours a week. That's what it is. 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. That is the norm. Where do I live? Salvador Bahia, Brazil. I've been living here 5 years. Independent adjusting got me out of the United States in 2018. As a field adjuster, can you request to inspect only one-story roofs? If you are a field adjuster, look, if you're gonna be in the field, just be flexible enough to say you're gonna get on a 2-story roof, okay? It's the first thing. Next thing is you can call a steep team, okay? We call them steep teams for 2-story roofs if you don't have a ladder for it or something like that. But a steep team would allow you to be in a situation where you can only do 1-story roofs, but you're gonna be splitting the money with them too, okay? You gotta pay those people. Those people are gonna be doing part of your job for you, so that's gonna come out your paycheck. So you wanna keep that in mind. Can you start making $80K annually as an independent adjuster? You can start making $100,000 a year or more as an independent adjuster. You don't gotta start making no $80K. I wouldn't have been an adjuster. I wouldn't have gotten in business talking about $80,000. I would not have been an independent adjuster if somebody said you could make $80K doing this a year. I wouldn't even thought about it. Did you have to take another test for Brazil to be an IA? Kelly, we talked about this earlier in the live. I live here. I don't work here. Okay, I still handle everything in the United States. I still do everything stateside. I just live here. But independent adjusting took me out of the States. Took me to Canada first. Then I got to go to Brazil. And that's where I've been living at since then. So I've been living here since January 2019. So almost 5 years. In about 5 weeks, I'll be 5 years down here. But again, I'm not trying to teach any of y'all how to lead the United States as an adjuster. And none of y'all are going to do it. None of you will be able to do this in your first year in the business. All right, just get it out of your head. Okay, I was already 4 or 5 years in before I even got a contract that allowed me to leave and work outside the United States. So this is not something that's going to be doable for 99.9% of you all, especially in your first year in the business. I got a lot more experience than y'all, most of y'all, as far as new people. I know some people in here that's already adjusting. I know that already. Appreciate all y'all. Questions, comments, concerns, guys. I'm gonna go about 5 more minutes. We can do 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Get these questions out of the way. Whatever questions y'all got, let's go and get them out of the way. I'm hungry. I'm sleepy. I need to eat again, and I got people I need to talk to, other than y'all. So let's hurry up. For desk jobs, can you split your day? No. Let's just get all this out of the way. Let's just get this all out of the way. All right, all this whole splitting. Look, desk, you're working 10 hours straight. Forget about it. You do an hour lunch, you do 15 minutes. You get 2 15-minute breaks and an hour break. Sometimes a 30-minute break. That's just what it is. You're not splitting nothing up, okay? It's 60 hours. How would I make that much money? Where do you find clients? You make that much money because that's what they're gonna pay you. All right? They're gonna pay you that because that's what you are. You're an independent adjuster. Okay? Where do you find the clients? Your clients are insurance carriers. You're gonna find them by getting hired through you're gonna get on a roster for an IA firm. Okay? Gotta get on firm roster lists. Once you get on those lists, they'll call you up. Yo, I got a deployment for you at such and such. You want to take it? Yes. Boom. They tell you how much you're going to make, and you go for it. Okay? Questions, y'all. Keep the questions coming. I'm about to wrap it up. Okay? Y'all got questions, comments, concerns, y'all can always shoot me a DM. For those of y'all who know me or hit me up, I do hit you back. If you send me a message on TikTok, I will shoot you a message back. Okay, so something to think about. Y'all, if y'all ain't got no more questions, this is it. Kelly, I'm always doing this. It was last week was a holiday weekend. Had a whole lot of people at the house. I just did not have the capacity for this. But you're probably gonna see me live tomorrow. I'm live 2 or 3 times a week here on TikTok. So you'll see me here more often. Y'all, I appreciate everybody. I might be back tomorrow. We'll see. Because I'm doing this late. It's 11:30 my time. I'm tired already. So it just depends on how I feel each day. When I'm not super tired and I'm getting some engagement like I got with y'all, I'll stay on for longer. When I get less engagement, it gets kind of boring. So I'll get off, right? So that's what I got, everybody. Go to the link in my bio. I got a Cyber Monday sale going on. If you want more information on my TikTok, go to my TikTok. Y'all got a whole bunch of stuff over here. Appreciate everybody. Follow me. Like the video, hit me up, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good night.